What is good, everyone? Welcome to a video. I go by the name of Cnez. Welcome to a new video, a totally new segment into my channel. I am introducing Cnez Talks. I'm gonna create a playlist for this and you're gonna find my commentary. I'll be rating your reality shows, I'll be reviewing episodes, so on and so forth. Anywho, let's get into the video without wasting any time.
Corners in the paddock, get my piece. I'm pushing P. Cop no hammers for my P. We don't want no peace. Got a spot across the spot. Jumping peas. Drop the data, now we planning. Side peas. She not a lesbian for peace. She turned lesbian. Push P. I'm pushing P. On capital P, I write the president, count presidents. Push P. P's on her knees.
You can already tell by the title of the video that today we are spilling some tea on the Love is Blind season 7. Okay, Love is Blind season 7. I'm just gonna start off by saying what a mess. What a mess. I swear to God, if you know me, you'll know I'm a diehard fan for Love is Blind from season 1 till the current one, which is 7. Season 1 was top tier. None of the seasons that followed after actually topped that or even got as close as season 1. Let me tell you, season 7 is the pits. Season 7 is the pits. If you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, but it's too late now. It's too late, so you might as well sit here and enjoy the ride. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be rating the couples based on compatibility and their characters. Okay, and then I'll decide, or I'll guess who's going to get married and who's not going to get married, and who I think should be married and who I think shouldn't. Okay, now without wasting any time, let's get to couple number 1. This is in no particular order, but couple number 1. Couple number 1 has to be my favorite couple. Couple number 1 is Taylor and Garrett. Listen, Taylor and Garrett get each other on so many different levels. They are both intellectual, they're smart, they're science geeks, you know. They get along. They have so much in common, according to me. They have so much in common. So even their chemistry, initially I thought that Taylor was a bit stuck up, but also you need to take into account that other people, when they're on screen, they are different than when they are off camera, you know, because they don't know how to act for the cameras, and some are not even reality stars. They're just doing it for the first time. So having to be vulnerable and emotional on camera can be something. But from the pods, it was great. They were only dating each other. Then they're the first couple that got engaged. That was so cute, so nice. Best couple in my eyes. In my eyes, those two should definitely tie the knot. I'm not sure though whether they are going to get married, because after they were out of the pods and after their vacation in Mexico, when they started meeting friends and family, Taylor expressed that she actually wants Garrett to move with her. And it was a bit of a, not necessarily a problem, but they ended up, Garrett decided that, you know what, let's do it. I love you, so why not? And they're genuine. I don't believe that they would do each other dirty. However, towards the last episode, this is episode 10, if not episode 11. Episode 11. The last episode where the couples were now meeting and the rest of the cast members, Taylor discovered that Garrett was busy texting his ex. Okay. Garrett was busy texting his ex. Now tell me, why are you entertaining your ex? He's not the one that went out of his way to DM the girl. The girl's the one that sent him a DM. And then he responded. However, he said to Taylor that he didn't respond to the DM. Instead, he just liked it and deleted and blocked the bitch. And he didn't. So now Taylor found out at the party when Garrett was telling his friends about his ex and how the ex is constantly texting him. And then he says that he responded. And now Taylor was feeling some type of way, because that was a lie. Like, why would you lie to me, say that you didn't respond to the girl, whereas now in front of everyone you're telling me that you responded, you know? So it was a bit messy for them, but yeah, she forgave him and they're fine, they're okay. I hope they're still good. I hope they really, really, really make it. It's one couple that I'm rooting for. definitely one couple that I'm rooting for. No drama, nothing to, they're very chilled, very cutesy, very mindful. And then the infamous couple number 2. This is Tyler and Ashley. Tyler gets on my nerves. So when the episode aired, when the first three episodes aired, people on Instagram and Twitter were going on about how Taylor is lying, because he was going on about how he wants a big family, how he wants to stay committed to one woman, do A, B, C, and D. So it was pretty much saying everything that a girl would want to hear, according to him. So obviously in the post get to know each other, never did he disclose that he has a family outside. Now we got to learn this as the episodes keep airing. People start coming up with receipts. Apparently he deleted his Facebook because on his Facebook he had pictures of his family. He has 3 kids, twins and a baby boy. Baby boy comes after the twins. Do they come after the twins? But he has 3 kids in total with one woman. Now, he didn't even think, not even once, to disclose that information. Well, he continues with the show. People on the outside, they start coming out. Even the baby mama comes out. However, she wasn't malicious or nasty about it. She was just setting the record straight. Tyler and this woman, initially, he helped her to conceive because it was a gay couple, females, lesbian couple. He helped them conceive. They had 6. They're not sure why. It wasn't through sperm donation, as he said it was in the pods. So fine, she gets pregnant and he says he wants to be involved in the kids' lives. He doesn't want them to grow up without a dad like he did, so he wants to be present and do everything. Baby boy was there from during the pregnancy, when the lady was giving birth, cutting the umbilical cord, watching the baby's first steps. He was pretty much there. The lady breaks up with her partner. Now Tyler starts seeing this girl. They have another baby. Now this other baby wasn't through sperm donation or him helping the lady to fall pregnant, but it just happened because they were sleeping together. Fine, and they stayed together for at least a year before the show happened. But I'm gonna put the video up so that you can watch and see for yourself.
But I feel like it's important, in order for me to move on from this and to clear everything up, that I state the truth. So there was a time in which Tyler was one of my best friends. Even now, he's still the father of my 3 beautiful children. And considering that my intent here is not to bash Tyler, in regards to our oldest child, Cairo, Tyler was initially only supposed to be helping me and my ex-wife. He was helping us conceive. It was understood that Tyler was not supposed to assume a father role in Kai's life, hence my ex-wife's name being on the birth certificate. Shortly prior to me giving birth to Cairo, my ex-wife left me and moved back to her home state of California. She flew back for Kai's birth, packed the rest of her things, and then moved back to California. My ex-wife and I originally planned and agreed to co-parent as best as we could across the country. But things were very, very rocky for us. Soon after, my ex-wife petitioned the court for full custody of Cairo. And unlike Cairo, the twins were simply unplanned. If that needs to be spelled out for some people, Callie and Kamari are the results of natural, unplanned intercourse with absolutely no complexity surrounding parentage. They were conceived before Cairo turned 1. And I fully admit, I've not always been the most comfortable with that truth, due to the fact that I've lived the majority of my life as a lesbian. Nonetheless, it is exactly that, the truth. Tyler was there with me the entire way, extremely supportive. We went to doctor's appointments together. We even were living together. I will say, Tyler and I have never officially been together. We never truly dated. But we had these kids, and we were raising these kids together. We were co-parenting these children together, and we were legit, or I felt like we were best friends. I truly hate that I had to provide an explanation in hopes of defending myself and my children. I just could not continue to sit back and allow what was being said about me and the kids to continue on and just be lied on. I want to add, in fairness, I understand that there is an argument to suggest that despite him wanting and accepting the role as Kai's dad, that maybe he doesn't or shouldn't have any responsibility for Cairo. While I and the courts at this point disagree, I respect this argument. However, there's nothing and absolutely no context that exists that would suggest the same for the twins. Tyler hasn't spoken to or seen the kids since September 30th of 2023. That was the day before he left for this show. And that's why I'm so beyond hurt and angry with him about all of this, because it just didn't have to be this way. It shouldn't be this way. I completely supported his decision to go on this show.
Fine. Tyler doesn't disclose any of that as episodes air. I think Ashley now finds out, and then Tyler, obviously he's gonna finesse her. He's already in the show and he's standing on business. Also, what gets to me, he's not even apologetic. However, he still stands on the fact that it was through sperm donation. It was a couple he knew. However, nothing was done illegally or it was never documented. So it was just, okay, I'm gonna give you my sperm, but we're gonna sleep together. You get me? So that kind of makes it blurs the lines. And Ashley is in denial. I don't know what's wrong with Ashley. Ashley was like, no, it's okay. As long as I know now, I hope you're not hiding anything from me. We're gonna conquer this. We're gonna whatever. How delusional can you be? But she was like, that's my man. I'm gonna stick by him, you know. And she did. Hopefully, she didn't, because Sana, if she marries that guy, it's gonna be game over, because he's a professional liar, not even a pathological liar, he's a liar. Anywho, on to the next couple. We have Marissa and Ramses. Marissa and Ramses. I love their energy. They complement each other so well. Marissa is so bubbly, and Ramses comes across as someone who's reserved, but he's not reserved. I don't know, he looks like he's someone who lives in his head, but also he's someone who's very present, you know. He feeds off Marissa's energy. I like that for them. They're the cutest couple. They look like siblings. They're gonna have cute babies. Those ones I'm definitely rooting for. However, it's now starting to feel or seem shaky in my eyes. So after they made it out of the pods, Marissa was in the military. Marissa is the lady, and Ramses is the guy. Ramses he feels some type of way about the military. They don't share the same views. However, he respects it. But now, not necessarily conflict, but now the argument becomes when they're now talking about family, starting a family. And Ramses is like, we're not gonna force our kids to be in the military or to be, you know, we're gonna let them be. And Marissa was like, military was part of my life, so they're gonna know about that part. They're gonna know about that part, you know. And but they just had a back and forth, and I was just so worried, because men in this season, they're so sensitive in a sense that they can't handle a grown conversation, adult conversation. All they do is step out or decide that it's just that, or they're just gonna dismiss, you know. So that, and another biggest thing was their sex. Marissa wants kids ASAP. Marissa is, I think she's 32. She wants kids. Ramses wants kids, but his time frame is 5 years, you know. Timeline is like 5 years. Give me 5 years, but not right now, you know, because he's not ready. Mind you, he's a divorcee. He was previously married, so he kind of has an idea of what a marriage is like, and because he has experienced it before. Now Ramses is like, no, and then they have to now talk about contraception. Now tell me, why is contraception should only be a woman thing? You must also abstain as a guy. Don't only force me to be on pills, injections, and whatever. So that's what Marissa was saying. Marissa was like, you know what? And she's like, I'm not gonna be on any birth control. I'm just not comfortable. I'm not comfortable, and I don't want that in my body, you know? And you have to respect that. Ramses doesn't understand. Mishka's like, we can use condoms, we can have condom sex. Now Ramses doesn't want condom sex. Ramses doesn't want condom sex, he wants to hit a draw. And Marissa is like, if you hit a draw, I'm gonna be pregnant and you don't want kids. Because she doesn't want to be on birth control. So that's been the back and forth until we meet Marissa's mother. Marissa's mother is very concerning and very interesting. Marissa's mother, she's too scary, or she's coming across as don't mess with me. But Marissa's mother doesn't trust Ramses. She thinks that Ramses is gonna deal with her daughter and chow her money. So she suggested that they sign a prenup. But now Marissa doesn't want to sign a prenup because Ramses doesn't also necessarily see the need for them to sign a prenup, because to him it looks like they're already foreseeing, or they're already anticipating divorce. You get me? So to him it just didn't make any sense. But to them as a couple, they didn't really go through the prenup because it wasn't their idea. And Marissa is still a student. She's a law student. She's not even a lawyer yet. Even if she was a lawyer, it's her decision to make, another mother. But those are just the challenges that the two are facing. But are they gonna get married? I hope they do. I hope they last. I hope Marissa is not too much for Ramses, because Ramses is very chilled. And also, out of context, Ramses knows how to dress. That guy knows how to dress. His fashion sense, a 10 out of 10. The next couple, Brittany and Leo. Leo is the Rolex guy. Leo does not have a personality. Brittany is a doll. She's a doll. Literally, you see when people say, I want my man, I don't want to use my brains, I don't want to think, I'm going to let him think for me, do this and this and that. She's just a Barbie doll. Think of, I don't want to say beauty without brains. She's very pretty, but she doesn't use it. She's getting so fake and so plastic, in my opinion. But her and Leo, it was just, I don't know. Leo doesn't have anything to offer, or he didn't show that, because all he went on about was how much money he's making, how lucky he was that he got to inherit the family's riches, how he's an art dealer, how he doesn't want people to go for him because of his money, but now he's making his money his entire personality. Now tell me, how is it that people are not gonna come or gravitate towards you because of the money? And it made sense that he and Brittany matched, because he was like, Brittany reminds me of my ex. Even during the pod, the conversations were not substantial. Their conversations were not of substance. They were just boring. They were just plain. Not even a talking stage. It was just so cold. And then he had to settle for Brittany because Hannah turned him down. You know, he literally begged and blackmailed Hannah into taking him. But Hannah was like, no, I'm gonna stick with my Nick D. Okay, so baby boy ended up settling for Brittany. Brittany was also torn because she was the second option, but she couldn't say I love you to the guy, and eventually when they had to meet, it was just so awkward. Leo was on some, okay, please tell me you love me. The girl was like, I don't know, I'm not so sure about that, I'm not sure yet, you know. And then after they met, it was like, they didn't even kiss. It was just so, I don't know. And Leo is not the hottest guy on earth, honestly. But Brittany is too cute. And then we didn't get to see the rest of their story because they decided to not go to Mexico after the engagement. I think they knew that it wasn't gonna work. They went to, where did they go? Did they go to Miami or wherever? I think they went to Miami. And then after that, they called it off. They went separate ways. I was like, not a surprise, because Brittany expressed that she's not going to be with this guy. She doesn't like this guy. So that was that. And then we had Monica and Steven. Monica and Steven, those two I was looking up to. I was like, oh my god, what a remake of season 1, because Lauren and Cameron were literally like that. It's interracial. I liked how they connected. I was like, you know what, there's a reason why they saved them for last, because we got to know their story after we've after we introduced to so many couples, so they were in the middle, if not almost lost. But I like their story. They made it out of the pods. Steven looked so, he was so open, man. He's a very chatty person. I like that about him. But Monica, to me, was a red flag initially. Still is. Monica was giving Britney vibes. She was giving, I don't want to do this. I want a man to do A, B, C, and D for me. I'm not going to sweat. I wasn't born to suffer. A man was born to take care of me, to provide, and, right? But now she didn't really like Steven because Steven is a yepper. Steven talks. The minute he speaks, he doesn't shut up. And he ends up saying the wrong things. Tell me why, when he's at a party with other couples, he's telling, not everyone, he's telling a group of girls about how he'd go into the DMs, or someone come into his DMs and say, hey, I want to suck your dick, you know? So it was just so awkward. He doesn't know how to read the room. He's always off. His timing is off. He's always out of context. Oh, fine. And then Monica expresses this about how Steven just speaks too much, speaks a lot. He needs to keep quiet, and there was a time they never really had sex. I don't know what caused that. I forgot. And Steven lost his job. It was just messy. Monica was doing everything. She wanted flowers. Steven wouldn't get her flowers. Steven literally didn't get her flowers. He was like, I'm aware you need flowers, but I just can't buy you flowers just because you want me to. You get me? And I didn't understand, because if someone says they like ice cream and you're going to a dairy shop, why aren't you getting them ice cream? Or just get them ice cream because they said they like ice cream, you know? So Steven was just the bare minimum. Now he's going to this, is it a sleep test, something? But anywho, he cheats. Monica finds out that he's busy sending people nasty things on Instagram. He's busy talking dirty. She discovers that he has fetishes. And Steven was like, you know what? If you don't have sex, it's okay. I don't mind, you know? And I'm thinking this guy is probably getting it somewhere else. You get me? Because how are you so relaxed? How are you so chilled? But it didn't work out. And before he stepped out, or before he left, Monica was like, please Venmo me the money that you owe me. Steven did that, and he had nothing to say, couldn't defend himself. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave you now. And he left. And that was at the end of it. Literally the end of it. Oh, guys, this couple, I was rooting for this couple, mostly because they're so chilled, man. They're so chilled. Tim and Alex. Tim. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know what's up. But it just wasn't working out. It just didn't work out. In the pods, they were doing so fine. Their chemistry, listen, they were getting along like a house on fire, you know? Until they made it out of the pods. And then 1 + 1 was not 2 anymore. 1 + 1 was like 18. It didn't add up. Here's my opinion. I'm thinking that Alex made it very clear that she's not into that guy. She was busy going on about how she doesn't like how he dresses. I think she was only doing that to stay relevant, so that when the show ends, she stays relevant and that she becomes an influencer or becomes popular. But hey, it worked for her. But she's not a nice person, let me tell you. So outside of the parts, there's been instances where Tim would try to be playful and be nice to her, and she's just not feeling it. Or would say, I don't like how you dress, and she'd keep it at that. Or the guy would say, I love you. That she'd say something else, or say, love you, and then that's pretty much it. And I'm just like, girl, why are you with this person if you don't love them? You get me? I know it's only a month, but you agreed or you accepted their proposal, but you can't say the 3 words back. It doesn't make sense. You get me? Fine. Now the problem begins. I don't know when. They didn't show it. The production didn't show it, but they had a fight. Apparently, Alex got so ratchet and said mean things to Tim, and I believe it. Alex looks like she's trying so hard to act tough, to act like a bad bitch or come across as a bad bitch, and it's not cute. It's not cute because it's making her unlikable to me. Unlikable because why are you being mean for no reason? Tim is so kind. Tim is so soft. Tim is a clean man, you know. So Tim decides to stay wherever, sleep in a different room. She was in her own room. She wasn't even apologetic about it. Tim was like, you know what, I'm gonna need some time. I don't think I can do this, but I need some time. Eventually they speak about it and they get over it and they kumbaya, they're fine. Now they meet families. This girl was so worried that the family is not gonna accept him and Tim, and her reasons were that she's never introduced any guy to her family. It's understandable. And she expressed that should my father not like you, we're not getting married. Fine. So on the day when they were meeting Alex's family, Tim went all out. Tim went all out. He was braaiing, he was cooking, he did the cleaning, did everything. Listen, to the T to impress the family, and they liked him. That was great. Now, reverse, turning the tables. Now, tables had to be turned. It's Alex having to meet Tim's parents. Apparently, Alex went to sleep. So I think she met them, had to go to work, came back, and then, oh no, she met them after she came back from work. And then she had a mini nap in between, like an hour nap while the parents were there. So Tim got offended that she went to sleep while his parents were there. And I'm thinking, guys, after a long day at work, it's only normal for you to want your bed. You get me? And you can only talk so much. You can only speak so much as a person. What did you want me to do? Have a 4-hour conversation with your parents? I don't know them like that, you know? Because he introduced her. They had conversations. But she says she was drained. Tim, guess what he does? He dumps her because she decided to go to sleep. Was that a good reason to? No, but I feel like Tim really needed a reason. He was waiting for a reason to dump her because she's not a nice person. She definitely isn't a nice person. And right now, I was checking her Insta. She's busy milking this. Yeah, if I send you this, it means I'm sleeping. She's trying to turn it into a funny thing or into a meme thing. And Tim might have his cons and everything, but he was good at hiding it, or he was not showing. But he tried. To me, honestly, I think that girl wasn't good for him. She was a baddie. She wanted someone. I feel like she and Tyler would have made a good couple. Honestly, they both toxic. She was gonna get what she deserved, honestly, and then have Ashley and Tim be together, you know. But it is what it is. I'm glad that they're over. I hope they don't rekindle. I hope she stays wherever she is. I hope Tim finds a better person for him. And yeah, that's pretty much it, because I'm judging it based on what I was seeing, you know, and not what I'm reading online. Whew. Last but not least. This couple stresses me out. Oh, they stressed me out. Hannah and Nick D. Hannah and Nick D. Number one, I'm gonna put it out there. I don't like Hannah. Hannah is a bully. Hannah is a narcissist. Hannah is controlling. Hannah is self-centered. Hannah is very judgmental. Hannah is... I don't like Hannah. She's mean. Hannah is 26, right? I hope in the next season they don't cast 26-year-olds, because why aren't you on Tinder? You're 26. What are you doing on Love is Blind? Hannah, in the pods, Hannah has a relationship with Leo, the Rolex guy, and Nick D. She gets along with Nick D and Leo. However, with Leo, because Leo doesn't have a personality, it's not easy for them. Leo throws the bomb that he's an Adela and an aunt. So obviously now she's conflicted. She doesn't know who to choose between Nick and Leo. Nick gets to a point where he now wants to leave because Hannah was not reassuring him, when Nick D was confident about her and was so sure about her. Nick D was about to leave the show. Hannah was like, no, please don't leave. Please give us another chance. This bitch. Fine. Nick D stays. They go on, they propose, they get together. She was going on about how much she loves him and this is behind the pods. Now, before she accepted the engagement from Nick D, obviously there was an interaction between her and Leo where she was telling Leo that she's decided to go with Nick D. Leo was busy begging, trying to blackmail her on some. If I were to tell you that I love you now, if I were to tell you that it's you, if I were to tell you that I'm gonna give you everything. My thing was, why are you saying if? Why don't you say it and do it? You know, because you can just say I love you, I want to marry you, I want to give you the world. Simple stuff saying, if I were to give you the world, if I were to do A, B, C, and D, you get me. So fine, she ended up with Nick D. And she was going on, she was raving about how much of a cheerleader she was. Obviously, someone's going to go on about how sporty and how much of a cheerleader and how active they are. You're going to think, oh, okay, slim, sexy, whatever, you know? And she was so specific about the type of a guy that she wants, or the guys that she's dated, your soccer players, your athletes, and whatever. And Nick D was on some, I'm very fit, and I was like, I had these guys honestly because none of them looked the way they had described themselves. Maybe internally they identify as fit, but they're not. But Nick is trying. Hannah, I don't want to say anything because it's going to come across as body shaming, so I'm just going to keep it to myself. Fine, they meet. Number one, she's wearing the most horrible dress I've ever seen. She doesn't say I love you to the guy. She's disappointed. She's not even taller than him, but she was making the point, oh, I'm taller than you. I thought she said. And I'm thinking, if you are now pressed about him saying that he's an athlete or he's an active person or he's fit, why you shouldn't, because look at yourself, you are not fit either. So, you know, like, she didn't have a right at all, because Nick can get any belly that he wants. She won't measure up, best believe. Fine, they make it out of the pods. Hannah is so uptight, she's so controlling, she's so serious, she's too bossy. There's a scene that got to me. They were at a beach. Nick was like, oh, let's go ride those ducks. There were ducks there by the beach. She's like, oh, let's go ride those ducks. She was like, nah, that's gross. I'm not going to do that. Nick, grow up. Nick just wanted to play. Guys, there's nothing with... Sometimes be free, play, you know, because life is serious already. And it wasn't even cringe, guys, honestly. So Nick gets on the ducks. One of the women from the beach, a stranger, comes and they ride, they compete, they race. It's very nice. It ends. And then the lady's like, oh, is that your girlfriend? Yo, she's so jealous. And then they laugh about it. Now, Hannah is making a big deal about that. The entire show, she's been going on about how Nick is disrespectful. He's busy entertaining other women. It was an old woman, number one. Number two, he asked you to go ride with him and you didn't. Number three, it was so innocent. It was, I don't know. And she didn't say this to Nick to say, hey, A, B, C, D made me feel some type of way, but instead she kept going around and bitching about it instead of letting Nick know, so that going forward he can avoid that. But they didn't have any similar situation to the one that just happened at the beach with the ducks. Fine. Now they're at home. Nick stays with his parents. It's a 10 off to her. She doesn't want to be with someone who stays with his parents. She's like, you can stay with me. However, we need to talk about finances. Nick is in real estate. She's in sales. So she makes more money than him. She made it a point that he knows every day. She made it a point to remind him that she makes more money than him and that she's responsible and that she has responsibilities. And she went on as far as asking Nick to pay for her bills because Nick doesn't have any bills because most of his stuff is paid for by his parents. And I'm thinking, if my parents are paying for my car, how is that any of your problem? It shouldn't bother you. You're paying your own car, it's okay, but the house bills or anything else that involves me, I can take care of. But why are you not expecting me to pay your bills just because my car insurance or my insurance is paid for by my parents? You get me? Like, she's so mean, and her parents are so nice, and they were like, we don't think Hannah likes Nick because of A, B, C, and D, and Hannah is so rude and so mean to him. She has never ever said or expressed how much she loves Nick. It has always been, I love you, but you do A, B, C, and D. I love you, but you know. And this one pissed me off. She kept going on about how she turned him from a boy to a man. And she would make it a point that everyone knows about it. But finally, on a random day, it wasn't random, they had to go fit and tax fitting but they were like, you know what, let's just call it off. And I was so glad that they did. I was so glad that they did, because that girl is so toxic, so toxic. And Nick is too slow. Like, bro, you deserve better, don't you know? He's delusional. He was so sure that it was gonna work. When it ended, I was like, thank God, because they were just stressing me out. Like, the entire show stresses me out. Even the previous season was stressful to me. It stresses me out, because where do they get these people? Honestly, do they do any background checks? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I think they just take any Tom, Dick, and Harry that's available and put them on a show. As long as they're getting their money and numbers, then that's all. Because what is this? Like, from season 1 till the recent one, I swear the quality deteriorates. The quality, the personalities, the characters, they just hit the worst. But we are now waiting for the weddings. I'm going to be doing episode 2 of this take. Of course, I'm going to be reviewing the wedding and the reunion. So I hope you did enjoy this segment. And if you did, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you haven't watched the show, please do go and watch it. You won't regret it. Bye.